writing a quadratic equation given the roots and the leading coefficient. So roots is another way to say solution. So it says this quadratic equation, write the quadratic equation whose roots are 4 and 3 and whose leading coefficient is 5. So if the roots, let's talk about this guy later. If the roots are 4 and 3, what that means is the solutions are x equals 4 and x equals 3. So we're going to build our quadratic equation from our solutions, and we'll see what the 5 has to do with it in just a second. So we're going to go backwards. We're going to unsolve this equation to get back to what we would have had to start with. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. X minus 4 equals 0. And then over here, subtract 3 from both sides. X minus 3 equals 0. So then this would come from the factored equation, x minus 4, x minus 3, all equals 0. So imagine we're going backwards, right? So you have a quadratic equation, you factor it, and you get this. You set each factor equal to 0, and then solve for x. So we've just gone backwards, kind of undoing that solving stuff. So here's where the 5 comes in. Just throw it right there. So leading coefficient, what they're talking about is, in general, our quadratic equations, we can make them look like this if we multiply everything out. So they're saying A, they're giving us A in this case, so our A is 5. And if you want, you can multiply all of this out so that you get it in the standard form, this form right here, instead of factored form. But I'm pretty sure Alex will take it like this. And this is a heck of a lot easier. I'll go ahead, though, and just multiply all of this out so you can see what it looks like. So I would do the FOIL first and then distribute the 5 through. So, okay, I'm going to let the 5 hang out, and I'm going to FOIL or distribute twice. So x times x is x squared, negative 3x, negative 4x plus 12. And so then we have that 5, x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. So then distributing this 5 through, we get 5x squared minus 35x plus 60 equals 0. So I believe in the explanation, Alex is going to kind of end with this. It's going to show you multiplying everything out, but I'm 95% sure it's okay with you not multiplying it out and leaving it factored. So let's do one more of these. So it can be a little tricky when the roots they give you are negative, or one of them is negative at least. So it says quadratic equation, roots are negative 1 and negative 4, and then leading coefficient is 2. So we're starting with our roots or solutions. X equals negative 1, x equals negative 4. So now when we unsolve, add 1 to both sides, we get x plus 1 equals 0. So the sign always changes when you go from the solution to the factor. So then over here it'll be x plus 4 equals 0. So then our equation is each of these factors, so x plus 1 and then x plus 4, all in parentheses, equals 0. And you can go ahead and just throw that 2 on because they told us that 2 was the leading coefficient. And so that should be the final answer, but just in case, I'll go ahead and multiply it out. So I think it's easier to let the 2 hang out and do this foiling first, multiply these 2 factors first. So x squared plus 4x plus x plus 4 equals 0. So then 2, x squared plus 5x plus 4 equals 0. So then 2x squared plus 10x plus 8 equals 0. And there we have it. By the way, they might give you one that says the leading coefficient is 1. So then you can just basically leave it off, right? Because multiplying by 1 is the same as not multiplying by anything.